Hello. Welcome to my history project called History of the Earth. I probably should have come up with a more creative name, but I made both a poster and an animation in case one of them is too hard to read. Now let's get started. Here we have the Earth. Such beautiful trees and life. But wait, how did we get here? For that, we need to travel back 4.7 billion years. This is an enormous cloud of space dust known as a protostar. That protostar collapsed into a disk. Let's stop the spinning for a second because it's hurting my eyes. Anyways, the center of the disk had so much mass that it formed into something called a T Tauri star in the center. Then the star got so big that its core was able to convert hydrogen into helium. This stuff made a whole bunch of other stuff, but we'll get onto that later. Back to the T Tauri star, this conversion of hydrogen to helium is called nuclear fusion, and it happened so much to the star that it boom. This is the sun, but you still got some little bits of that protostar floating around the sun. Still though, 886 million miles away from the sun, there were more bits of protostar orbiting the sun. These made Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Of course, this happened 4.6 billion years ago, so not all the planets look similar to how they do today. Now back to the sun. The little bits of debris floating a bit closer to the sun formed together and made Mercury, Venus, Earth, Theia, and Mars. Of course, this was still 4.5 billion years ago, so the planets look different than how they do today. Wait. I know about Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, but what's this Theia planet? I've never heard of it before. Well, I was getting to that if you just listen. Anyways, a lot of stuff was happening around the Earth, but the Earth remained pretty much intact until, well, this happened. This is the moon, and that's how it was made. Even after the collision with Theia, a bunch of asteroids and comets started to hit the Earth. Comets that landed may have had ice, which melted into water and evaporated into steam. Then it started raining a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot. By a lot, I mean so much that the entire Earth flooded. This is called the Hadean Ocean, and it covered the entire Earth. As Mars was starting to rust into its reddish hue you know today, the first single-cell life forms formed because of all that stuff. Well, these mainly that I mentioned earlier in the water. And they didn't look as advanced as you might actually think. The cells developed something known as mitosis, which caused them to split. These made something known as multicellular organisms, which instead of having only one cell, they had multiple cells. But then, something happened to the Earth that would change it forever. The outermost layer of the Earth, called the crust, was split into these giant chunks of land known as tectonic plates. Pressure from the tectonic plates caused the second uppermost layer, called the mantle, to leak lava onto the surface. As the lava came in contact with water, it made rocks and obsidian and lots of other stuff. This process was happening all over the Earth, and that's how land was made. The tectonic plates that the land was on were constantly moving, which caused the land to make lots of weird shapes. Those multicellular organisms that I mentioned earlier started growing. They had more and more cells, and before you know it, there was a new species created. These new species are called plants, and I've got a feeling you're familiar with these. The cells of the plant had something called chloroplasts in them. The chloroplasts were able to convert carbon dioxide in the atmosphere into oxygen. This process is called photosynthesis. Because a bunch of plants were doing this, the entire atmosphere turned into oxygen, and all the land formed into this thing called a supercontinent. This supercontinent was called Rodinia, and after even more shifting, it turned into a supercontinent called Pangaea. Now things are starting to get familiar. You can kind of see the shapes of some continents. And now Pangaea starts breaking. While all the tectonic plates were shifting, there were a lot of animals evolving on Earth. And some of them evolved into humans. And that's where we are today. And for the future, I don't know. So I guess this is